Hi, my name's David. This is my wife Reagan and our children, Hannah and Elijah. And we're missionaries here in Stockton, California, considered by most to be the most miserable city in the nation. Foreclosure capital of the world, leading their ranks in unemployment and crime, 60% high school dropout. About 3 years ago, God called us to move to this city as missionaries to further His kingdom and to advance the gospel.
Dave and I both grew up in the church, spent our whole life doing church, doing it well. We learned what it looks like to serve the Lord, or what we thought it looked like at least. And we were both heavily involved with worship ministry, children's ministry in our church. Dave leading a men's group and had small group Bible study in our house, and also at the same time working up the American Dream ladder. We had worked our way up to a house at the beach in Southern California, working with a multi-million-dollar landscape company, and just doing what we thought was the right thing. And before long, God started to stir our hearts for more.
And as we prayed, He put Stockton on our heart. We had some friends that had just started a church here in Stockton, and so we visited to see what the Lord was doing here. And on one of those visits, God just spoke to us and said, this is where you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to be doing. We left the life that we had been living and working hard for to pursue what we felt God was calling us to do and to follow where He was leading us.
The Lord had given us a big vision for what He wanted us to do here in Stockton, but we had no idea how that was going to play out. The details of it, all we knew was that He was calling us to a rough neighborhood and to a house with other people living with us that would involve discipleship and ministering to a neighborhood. Since moving into this neighborhood, I've truly understood what the Lord meant when He said the harvest is plentiful, because since the day we moved into this house, it's been non-stop. We have people coming and knocking on our door every day. It seems like we have homeless, we have people who need prayer. We've had people come to us and say, we've heard this is the house of prayer, will you pray for me? So we've witnessed births. We've ministered to these kids day in and day out, and the Lord has truly done above and beyond what I ever imagined.
I think we've seen people come out of broken relationships. I remember this lady across the street came over one night, blood coming out her ear, and was just like, I got beat up and I need help, and taking her to the hospital. But then we've had just amazing joy too in ministry here in the neighborhood. Lord's used this house for a ton of fellowship. I mean, we've baptized countless people in the pool. We've seen people saved. It's nothing short of a miracle. It's the Lord working in our hearts and changing our hearts and bringing us to surrender to Him and the work that He has for us, and to set aside our own plans and our own desires, and to stop striving for what we thought it looked like, but to surrender and to live life for what He wants it to look like. After about 2.5 years of doing ministry here in the city, we started a nonprofit called Restore. And really, the heart that God gave us was to move into a city that was broken, into the most gnarly broken neighborhood, and to let Him do the work of restoration here in the neighborhood. It's looked completely different than we anticipated. We started a community center about 2 months ago. We're doing tutoring 3 days a week. We just got back last night late from an overnight camping trip. Had a bunch of people from our church come and support us, so we took a bunch of kids from the neighborhood out dirt biking for the weekend. It's been fun. It's been a wild ride, but every day is different than the day before, and we never really know what it's going to look like. We're just doing our best to follow where the Lord leads and to do what it is that He puts on our heart to do.